Okay, so welcome to Thursday of Mental Health Awareness Week. My name is Colleen Mc. I am a first-year PsyD student at Adler and doing my social justice internship. And this is Navreen. Navreen, will you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Hi, Colleen. Thank you so much, first of all, for giving me this opportunity to speak today. And I'm glad to be a part of the Mental Health Week this year, being online. So, I'm an intern counselor with Moving Forward Family Services. I've been doing this as my practicum, as my school requirement. I'm doing my master's for counseling psychology for child and youth with Adler University, which is in Vancouver.
Great, thank you. So Navreen, what brought you into this field?
Um, so it's a long story, but I will try to cut it short for this interview. I come from a community or a culture where mental health isn't recognized, and I should probably say that mental health isn't regarded as something somebody should consider. So people usually don't consider mental health. Like people don't even know back home from the country I come from that what is anxiety or what is stress. So they just have some generalized terms that they use, and everything is related to physical health, starting from small stress you can have or any kind of anxiety. It's all at the end related to physical health back home. And i was I started getting interested into this field when I was in my high school, and then it got introduced back home when I was in my high school. So I wanted to take it, but unfortunately I couldn't go and study anything about mental health or psychology. So, but I always had my inclination, and I got the chance to go to my college for my psychology majors. So I did my undergrad with psychology majors, and counseling was still not a thing back then, to be precise. And then slowly and gradually, my inclination and my learning made me realize that there is something like counseling that exists in this beautiful world, and my community doesn't know about it at all. And it is something that is very necessary. We had school counselors when I was in my middle school and my high school, but then they were not much help because people weren't knowing much about it. So that is the point where I thought that I am going to go into this field and probably be someone who can just aware my community about this, because until I had a degree or something, my community is not going to believe me, because people need a proof that yes, you've started something. So this is what made me come to this field and work for the community.
Oh, great. Oh, thank you for sharing that experience. What an inspiration to kind of look outside the box of the culture that you were raised and grew up in, and looking for alternative ideas and philosophies and support as well. Great.
Thank you.
So what are your thoughts about mental illness?
uh I first of all don't like the concept of mental illness, because we always say that it's physical health or physical well-being, but we always come and regard mental things as illness rather than saying mental well-being. So I always love to regard it as mental well-being. And then my thoughts are that everything that happens to a physical body is related to your mental body, like your mental health. And people consider that, oh, they're having some problems with diabetics and stuff like that, and they think it's all physical. But my belief is that it is all mental, and it all comes from the mind to your body. And then what I learned being in my grad school was mental health is something that everyone should focus since they're small kids. Like kids should be taught how to take care of their mental health before their physical health. And like there are very small things that they should be learning, like saying no if something gives them stress or something isn't comfortable for them. So it basically starts from saying a no to, maybe even if they're your parents. So learn to say a no to your parents. Like, no, I don't want to do this because this may make me uncomfortable. And yeah, there's like, that is the point where your mental health starts from, like your caring for your mental health starts from.
And so what are your thoughts around stigma in mental health?
Oh wow, this is a pretty deep topic that you want to touch today with me. So I know there's a lot of stigma in the North American community with mental illness, but you would be amazed to believe that people don't even want to talk about it when it comes to the community I come from. Like, it is something people want to just shut their mouths and never talk about it. Like, they consider that the person is disabled, like they regard it as a disability if somebody wants to go and see a counselor, wants to go visit a psychiatrist. Like, from psychiatrist to psychologist, if someone's having any mental well-being issues, so they always regard it as disability. And there is such a deep stigma attached. People don't even know that there is something like confidentiality that exists, and there's so many options that exist that can help family. And there is a deep down belief that has been built in the people that, no, we don't want to see a counselor, I'm not weak. That strongness and weakness is defined by not seeing a counselor or not seeking any help. Whereas you are strong if you come and see a counselor, if you come and have an ability to see a professional help that can actually make you get through any grief, loss, or any kind of issues that are happening with your life.
Okay. So why do you think it's important to create a socially just society?
Um, I think uh, to create a socially just society is important because there is a lot of discrimination that exists in the society. That is, every person has some kind of discrimination or any kind of social injustice in them that they can do to the society. So, and they don't want to believe it because they don't even have that reflection towards themselves that can actually explain them that they have some kind of injustice being happening in their bodies or in their minds. So I feel like it is a very important topic that should be brought up in the schools for the children, to make them learn what is a socially justice society, to actually, which will actually help them to learn how to be a better citizen of the country they are in, or better, or an asset to the society. So I think these are very small topics, but they hold a very big value in somebody's life, or like society as a whole. We are seeing so many things happening right now. For example, I can take up a very common topic, that's Black Lives Matter. So everyone says that yes, Black Lives Matter, but in short, what are you actually doing? Not uploading a picture on social media is going to help Black lives, but what are you actually doing in your life? How are you making a Black person feel comfortable around you? How are you not being someone who is making someone feel uncomfortable when you go for a grocery shopping or something? We see so many incidents, but what are actually people doing for that? So these are very small things that I think should be taught to toddlers, and they can eventually become rules, and the children should be disciplined by those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true. All right. Okay, well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really enjoyed your answers. I learned a lot from you. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm so glad.